All right, we just took you around the world, showed you what's happening around the world with cries of democracy. The perfect storm, the economy, war, extremist Islam, the border, energy, political correctness, our enemies within. At some point, America will be so weak that our enemies will pounce without coordination. I said that in 2006. So let's go to the United States now. Let's take a look. United States, unions are protesting now. Union protest in Wisconsin, they continue. And let me tell you, they're classy. They are. Here it is. The dope-smoking hippies are back. I love this. I don't want to shake your faith in humanity here. I mean, Frank Rich did tell us that my observations on how the left and Islamic extremists have been working together and using the same tactics were crazy. Socialists joining the people of Wisconsin. Well, as is usually the case, you can either believe Frank Rich or your own eyes and ears as you watch on TV.
People are mobilized. Scott Walker's kicked a sleeping giant, if you will, and this is just evidence, as we're having more and more people every day, that the workers of Wisconsin aren't going to take this laying down.
Introducing people to Bob Avakian, the chairman of the Revolutionary Communist Party, and bringing forward emancipators of humanity.
We could clone and revive Che Guevara if we wanted to.
I don't know if it's the camera or if he's wobbly. We clone Che Guevara. Let me explain something. Here's democracy, and here's the republic. Which one are we? Who's calling for democracy? Well, you got the Muslim Brotherhood, you have Iran, you have China, you have the communists, you have unions, you have students, you have Hollywood, you have Chavez, you have Castro, you have Van Jones. I could go on. Who's calling for a republic? There's me. You. See the problem? Democracy means one man, one vote. Sure, sounds great. But when you have powerful people organizing for America, for Egypt, for Madison, for the unions, it means mob rule. And not me saying that. That's the founders. The reason we have a republic is to avoid mob rule. Again, not me. Let's go to John Adams, shall we? John Adams. Remember, democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There was never a democracy yet that did not commit suicide. Ask the Google executive who was like, they're going to be great. It's democracy. I'm going to be up on the stage with the wheelchair guys. He's saying, let's shoot all the Jews. Didn't happen, did it, Mr. Google executive? This is why we live in a republic, not a democracy. In a republic, people run for office. We elect them. And then we judge them based on their performance. If we don't like what they do, we vote them out. Look at President Obama. Myself, people like me, warned before the election that he was going to implement government-run health care if he was elected. We talked about energy prices necessarily skyrocketing. We played all of his words, saying all of it would happen. Nobody would listen. Nope. So he won election. We got that change thing. Hey, how's that working for you? Got a lot of hope? He forced it all through, and now what happened? Well, America dealt with it. Obama's approval ratings have dropped by 20 points. He's now lost over 60 seats in the first election. People had a chance to show how they felt about that hope and change. But all of that happened within the constraints of our republic. Scott Walker also doing what he was elected to do. He campaigned on, I'm going to get rid of this union thing. Instead, he has to deal with Democratic politicians running away like little girls. Yeah. Here are people collecting salary and not showing up for work. Guess what happens to them in the free market system? Yeah, they get fired, not praised. You in a republic have a right to protest. It is your First Amendment. That is part of the republic. You have to have the courage to state your convictions, as people on the left are doing finally now, as they're coming out with their little hammer and sickle. The Tea Partiers were protesting and standing up for a constitutional republic. That's what they said. Follow the Constitution. These guys and everybody else on TV, so thrilled with a democracy. Which side are you on? This is the Journal of Political Philosophy, Cass Sunstein. Remember this? This is, well, this should be really famous. If you're a total geek and watch every episode of this program, which I don't even do, you'll know this one. It's what the government can do about conspiracy theories, what it should do. I love this. It's the 5 things here on page, well, it doesn't have a number. This page, highlighting, it has these. What can the government do about conspiracy theories, and what should it do? 1, government might ban conspiracy theories, somehow defined. Number 2, government might impose some kind of tax, financial or otherwise, on those who disseminate such theories. Uh-oh, I have a feeling my taxes might go up. 3, government might itself engage in counterspeech, marshaling arguments to discredit conspiracy theories. Remember this. 4, government might formally hire credible private parties to engage counterspeech. Wow, I wonder if that's like Google or something like that. And 5, government might engage in informal communication with such parties, encouraging them to help. Well, that sounds great. Sounds like the kind of stuff I want my government involved in, especially the kind where they're informally saying it so you don't really know, especially when it comes to conspiracy theories. That doesn't breed more conspiracy theories, does it, Cass? He said that you had to, I'm quoting, infiltrate. Points 3 and 5 about government engaging itself, hiring private parties to engaging information communication with such parties. He also said this, and I love this. Of course, some conspiracy theories have turned out to be true, and under our definition, they do not cease to be conspiracy theories for that reason. This is like the opposite of evolution. It's a theory, and yet it remains a theory, and yet now it's somehow or another a fact? I'm not sure. So what he's saying here is even if conspiracy theories turn out to be true, it doesn't matter. They'll still be a conspiracy theory. Well, certainly we don't have any examples of that, do we? Oh, wait a minute. Yes, wait, hold it. We do. From Time Magazine and Joe Klein. Oh, yes, Joe says, how long, Glenn Beck, how long? Today we have Bill Kristol sticking with the demonstrators and calling out free-range lunatic Glenn Beck for his, quote, hilarious commie Muslim caliphate delusions. Oh, Joe, where did you write that all by yourself? You look on a typewriter or something. I'm going to write a big boy article. Hilarious, Joe, it is. Funny how my delusion included actual Che signs being held up in Cairo. Isn't that weird? So, what do you have to do with that? Che. What the? Huh? And change. Hey, Joe, let me see. I got this one. Oh, this is a statement issued by the Communist Party in Egypt. It's weird. You should look at point number 3, fine print there, to convene the election of a constituent assembly to draft new constitution for the country based on the principle of the sovereignty of the nation and ensure the devolution of power within the framework of a democratic, just civil state. Oh, Joe, are we back to democracy and republic again? Is that it? Oh, and the last line of this one is, long live the revolution of the Egyptian people. Not to mention the fact that International Answer, a communist organization, and Code Pink were helping to organize it, and others, rallying with them in Cairo and here in the United States. And then we had this, Cass Sunstein from PC Magazine. Glenn Beck adds Google to caliphate conspiracy theory. Wow. Glenn Beck had added Google on a growing list of nefarious organizations that may or may not be part of a vast conspiracy to create a one-world Islamic government. And this from the Good Christian Science Monitor. Why is Glenn Beck freaking out over Egypt and a caliphate? Let's have a picnic. Fox News commentator Glenn Beck finds Egypt's democratic revolution. Democratic revolution? Do you guys know the difference between the... a conspiracy involving the left and the right. Other conservatives are distancing themselves from Beck's delusional ravings. It's weird. One person not distancing themselves from this whole thing kind of weirdly happening and spreading all over the world? Brian Williams saying this.
From the Mideast to the American Midwest tonight, people are rising up. Citizens' uprisings are changing the world, as we've witnessed from Tunisia to Egypt and now tonight from Libya to Bahrain, where today there was a violent crackdown and our reporters and cameras were there when shots were fired. But tonight we're going to begin in Wisconsin. The state capitol has been taken over by the people.
By the people. Many of them are holding communist signs.